Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I am here to have a play with Amy from Crafty Cat's 60-minute colour challenge. I said before when I did the green one, I'm kind of just dipping in and out. So she did black and white, and that's just up my street really. So I couldn't wait to come along and have a play with the black and white. So I have gathered up some supplies which are, you know, black and white essentially. I feel it's cheating a little bit because quite a few of these are quite more cream and white, but obviously that's, you know, that's the colour of the book pages. And I've printed off a bunch of my printables, but I kind of made them black and white before I printed them. And I've printed them onto just very pale coffee dyed paper. So it is coffee dyed, just to take that really stark white. I mean, you can kind of see here at the corner where it was white. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. So, you know, again, maybe it's a bit cheating because they're not, you know, stark black and white images. But, I mean, they're close enough. And actually, when I did double check Amy's, she had mixed in different shades of like off-white and things like that. So I'm hoping that this is going to be within the theme enough. Okay, so I'm going to click on the timer. Oh, and the other thing that I brought along, sorry, was this little, what size is this? Is it a 6x4 or something? Oh, 4.5 by 6.5. Little matte stack thing, paper pad. And I've had this in my stash for years and years. I have used little bits of it, but not that much. Again, as you can see, I mean, a lot of the pages are very yellowy. So, of course, that's probably, you know, too yellow to kind of incorporate. But there's quite a few which are more black based. So, for instance, these, I just thought it would be quite a good use of these to use up some of these plainer ones. But otherwise, they've just been sat in my stash for a really long time. Hopefully, you guys would not think that's cheating too much. So, you know, possibly incorporate that, but I might just try and stick more with the blacker ones. So I've got these again, you know, they're predominantly pretty black in their kind of shading. Again, there's the stripy ones and things, you know, hopefully that would be deemed within the realms of sort of black and white really. I mean, obviously this was a sort of predominantly black and white-ish paper stash. And when you look at it compared to that book page, I mean, that's pretty much the same colour as that book page. So, you know, yeah, I think it kind of fits the theme. So I think that's probably it with regards to that little stash. Okay, so I mean, obviously I haven't really made a dent in that, but I just thought, well, it's using a few of those, isn't it? So, yeah, so let's click on my timer, which I've got just here above me. So I'm just going to click start and we'll do the 60 minutes. Okay, click start. So, okay, I haven't got a plan for any pieces at all. I've just brought along a whole, you know, load of gubbins really. So let me just clear some space on my desk so that I can actually see the wood for the trees. So if I start with some of these, because obviously, you know, I did pull them in and it's quite a good way to start, I guess. So I'm just going to trim them down slightly because at the moment I think they're probably too wide for making any form of pockets or anything like that. I'll just trim that down as well. Okay, and I'll do the same with this one. Might try and do like 2 together. In fact, I might try and do 3 together. That might be being too ambitious. Oh, I must have had 2 together, I think, there. Oh no, maybe not. Right, going mad, obviously. Oh, no, I've got a few of these. Oh, 3 of those, so I'm sure it's way too ambitious to think I'm going to do 5 all at the same time, but oh my gosh, look at my cutting. Talk about a nightmare. Okay. Okay, right. Right, so let's just not try and be too ambitious. So I just put them like that, I think, in the first instance. Okay, so I'm going to pull in a couple of those background pages that I just printed off, you know, in the black and white. Actually, not that one. Okay, so I'm going to use this one, I think. So if I just... No, sorry, gone back to this one. Sorry, not a good start, was it? In my green one that I joined in, I had someone leave a comment, which I actually thought was, you know, really rude, but their first comment, it just said yawn, you know, like it was so boring, which, you know, it probably was quite boring, I admit, but, you know, if you don't want to watch it, equally, you can just turn it off, can't you? And then they obviously had kept watching, and their next comment said, oh, I don't think this lady has much of an eye for design, or, yeah, much of an eye for colour, or much of an eye... I don't think this lady has much of an eye for design, I think they wrote. Which, again, I just thought, well, that's fine, isn't it? But, you know, there's no need to be rude, is there? If you're not enjoying something, you know, there's a ton of other things to watch on YouTube. You don't have to keep watching something that you're not actually enjoying. But, yeah, they obviously decided that they would. And, you know, then be rude in their comments. And again, as usual, you know, I did reply back, and you know, as time goes by, obviously I'm toughening up now, so whereas before it would have just really probably upset me, now when people are a bit rude, you know, because again, you click on that person and they have no subscribers, they haven't uploaded any videos ever, and I don't think sometimes people realise how hard it actually is doing videos. So again, I just replied to that person. I can't remember my exact reply, but I put something along the lines of, you know, thank you for your comment or something. You know, I look forward to seeing your videos. So hopefully that person felt suitably embarrassed and, you know, sort of thought that they were a bit mean. But I mean, there's no need to be rude, is there, or nasty to people. I just think, you know, there's enough going on in the world. Let's just all be kind. And why would anyone get pleasure out of being mean to another person? It's just literally beyond me. I find it just completely mystifying, you know, why anybody would find it pleasant or pleasurable to be mean in any way. But I mean, yeah, as I say, it's fine. It doesn't worry me half as much as it used to. I mean, you know, when I did first start doing videos, obviously, you know, of course it upset me really a lot because, you know, you are putting videos up that you hope people will enjoy. And, you know, the videos take a long time to do, you know, and as lots of people often, you know, regularly say and sort of obviously recognise, you know, you're effectively doing these videos. I mean, obviously at the start anyway, you're doing them for free. I mean, obviously I do have my ads now. That fluctuates a lot, and, you know, it's certainly not a lot, you know, not enough to kind of live on or anything like that. And some months are obviously, you know, worse than others. And I just think, you know, especially kind of when you're starting out, like I say, I mean, you don't even have the ad revenue. So you are literally doing these videos for free. And to spend such a lot of time, you know, preparing and grabbing your stuff, setting up your filming area, filming, maybe editing the video, uploading the video, editing your description and all that for the video, you know, even without doing, you know, the lovely edits that Barbara from 49 Dragonflies, who I mentioned the other day, how wonderful her videos are, and her incredible editing skills and things, which, she had recently done a video on how she does that process. You know, even without all of that, it still takes a considerable amount of time to actually do the uploading and, you know, all of that type of stuff. So to then have people be quite rude, I mean, that's just basically it, isn't it? It is just rude. Rude and mean, you know, and you just think, well, and I was going to just remove her comment, but do you know what? I just thought, actually, I'm going to leave it there because you should be embarrassed, really, you know, and why hide your meanness by removing your comment? Why not leave it there for people to see? And hopefully you will feel embarrassed and, you know, remorseful that you have been rude. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that person wouldn't feel rude. Maybe they wouldn't feel remorseful. I don't know. But, I mean, certainly if I had been mean to somebody, I would feel very bad. So, you know, you can only hope that that person would feel some form of embarrassment or something, wouldn't you? Who knows? As we say, they maybe wouldn't. Maybe they don't feel embarrassed at all, but, you know. And I mean, it takes all sorts, doesn't it? I mean, the world's made up of all sorts of people, so, you know, but you just do sometimes think, oh, what is wrong with people? Why would anybody feel the need to just be rude? And especially, like we say, when it's YouTube and you can just, you know, if you're not enjoying it, don't watch it. Watch something else. You know, I don't know. It's just baffling why some people are just the way they are, I think. Anyway, yeah. So I'm, you know, please don't think that I'm, I don't know, fishing for compliments or comments, you know, in response to this moan. I'm just filling time, really, and obviously with the lockdown, I'm not have a great deal else to talk about, but yeah, I just kind of thought, wow, you hopefully feel embarrassed for your negativity and your meanness. But to be honest, I mean, they probably go around being mean all the time in all aspects of their lives. So, you know, they probably don't feel that they're mean at all because that's probably just how they conduct every aspect of their lives. But I do think it's sad. I think, you know, it's a shame that people feel the need to be mean like that. Right. Now, I'm thinking I need to possibly layer this onto something. So maybe a bit of lace or something on there. And I think what I might do, let me just move all my stuff out of the way. I know this is black effectively, but I'm going to make it even blacker, I think. So let me just get my black stays on. Okay. Oh, sorry guys. It's where I've tried to be tidying up, and I've moved some of my ink pads up into my little shelf, which is very, very tiny. To just clear a little bit of space on my desk. So by doing that, it's obviously all a little bit piled up. Well, I say a little bit, I mean quite piled up, obviously. And yeah, so every so often it obviously now drops down, but otherwise, you see, it was in my little tiny desk drawer, which then every time that I went to use anything, if it was during a video, well, not just if it was during a video, but what I'm saying is it didn't bother me unless I was doing a video, my drawer would obviously get then stuck on the ink pads. So I thought, well, I'll move them out of the way, but obviously I want them kept to hand because of course I use them all the time. And now obviously they kind of drop down quite a bit. Right, what I'm going to do is rough around the edges a little bit. As you know, I do like doing this like that. And then I'm just going to go round with my black to make it even blacker. And again, you know, some of it's going on to the paper there, you know, the other coloured paper. And I rather like that, you know, it's making it look a bit more grungy and vintage. So like that. Now what have I done with my piece? Okay. So I'm thinking, just check which way up my lace needs to go. I think I'll have it like that. But I mean, it's like when that person said about Patricia Varimontes' allergies that she has, you know, and they were rude to her, you know. And you just do think, oh, what's wrong with people? You know, there's no need, is there? No need to be mean. Anyway, that's my little rant there for the day. Just sometimes you like to share these things, don't you, with people, because you need to get it off your chest. I think just because I'm astounded, you know, I can't believe that people would be so rude, to be honest. You know, people who you've never met at all would be so rude. Okay. So I quite like how that's looking so far. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to glue this onto that lace. Now this has been printed just on copy paper, so you know, it's not a very robust piece or anything. So I'm just going to stick it on there with my regular glue in the first instance. Oops. Oh, look at my mess that I've made on my mat. I have to say, loving this mat. It does clean up amazingly well. Again, I mean, if you watched when I got it, I was so terrified of getting anything on it because I didn't know how it was going to clean up, and you know, I didn't want to spoil it. But wow, it's incredible. It cleans up beautifully. So yeah, it's awesome. So thank you so much again, Laura. And again, for anyone who doesn't know, Laura had very kindly gifted me this lovely mat. It's so generous and so awesome. Thank you. And I just absolutely love it. And it was probably one of those things that I never would have bought myself because it would have just seemed like an extravagance that I didn't need, you know. I would have kind of thought, oh no, you know, that's something I can do without. But now having had it, I can see how amazing it actually is. You know, it's just lovely. Yeah, and it's actually like kind of a nice job to clean it. You know, it actually cleans up so lovely that it's actually quite a pleasurable thing to do. It's quite satisfying when you kind of clean everything off it and it comes up so just like new again. Okay. So that is a bit sort of wrinkly because obviously I've glued it with my hot glue because I still haven't got any of the 3-in-1, and obviously that was only copy paper, so it is slightly, you know, slightly bumpy, but it's fine. It, you know, it still looks fine. So I'm going to put some black lace at the top, I think. So I'll just pop my number tab on down there. And the number tabs, I mean, they're also from my shop and they come with some black ones. So I didn't have to print that out, you know, in black or anything like that. There are some black ones included in that set. So, yeah. Okay. yeah, as soon as I saw she did black and white, I thought, oh, I can't wait to join in that, because I love doing things with black. I just think black has the most striking appearance. So, yeah, I couldn't wait to join in and do some black things. Okay, that looks really pretty. Now I'm going to have some bling on there. Obviously I have my favourite here, but I don't know whether I'm better off with the silver here, because maybe the black's a bit too, you know, samey. Let me just put that there. And, oh, what did I do with that silver coloured bling? Because I bought along quite a bit of it, because I thought, oh, I might need quite a bit of that. No, now I can't find it, of course. I mean, it was in with that pile of stuff, but it's obviously now got buried. And I've just got a little scrap of lace here left from another project. So I might just pop that on there, just because it gets that, you know, gone from my desk again. I mean, how much difference that's actually making to my desk is very questionable, isn't it? But it feels good to think that it's gone. Here's that bling. It had obviously slid off to the side when I was going over what I had bought along. Kind of thinking I'm going to do a long piece of bling on this. So let's just, oops, sorry, knocking things with my glue gun as I picked it up. So I'm going to stick it on like this. So a little bit there. I quite like it a bit more curved. I don't like it sort of just straight across. So if I do it in 2 halves, so I've done those bits, and then go back in. Come on. Then I can curl this one round like that. Okay, so that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Okay, so that's number 1. Let's crack on and do number 2. Just because obviously I've got quite a few bits here, so if I don't get a bit of a move on, I'm going to get none done whatsoever. Right, let's just pop that one down. Okie dokie. So I hope everybody's having a good day. Hope you're doing some crafting, having a nice time. I mean, as I say, you know, we're still on the lockdown thing. Although I have to say, I can hear, you know, even sat here, it's obviously people are not taking it as seriously as they should be, because I can hear quite a bit of traffic outside. I mean, obviously not the amount that would be on a normal day, but you know, and shops are all still closed other than supermarkets and things, but it's quite shocking how many people I can, you know, well, not necessarily people, but how many cars I can hear out there. So clearly there's quite a lot of people, quite a lot of movement going on outside, which, you know, it obviously shouldn't really be. Yeah, sorry about the couple of tings that you've heard from my iPad. It's like my family on the Famalam thing. Not the Famalam, the... I don't know why that's what we call it, the Famalam thing, but it's on the Messenger. They're obviously messaging back and forth to each other. And each time it does it, it obviously does that ting. So... I mean, I can't read what it says, to be honest, because it's not really big enough for me to be able to see. But, you know, not that I'm involved in whatever it is they're chatting about, because obviously I wasn't sort of in the conversation in the first place, if you see what I mean. But yeah, for some reason it, even though I thought I had turned the sounds off, it still is, you know, every so often. So yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why it continues to do that noise. even when you've told it not to. But and weirdly, it doesn't always do that noise, just sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So even more strange. I don't know what that's about, but okay. I'm kind of thinking maybe a piece of white. I've got some dominoes here as well, because they, again, obviously they're, you know, they're in black, well, not really black and white, but, you know, black and ivory anyway. And I also did some of the roses in black and white. I'm not sure, I have to be honest, how well they really show up. And I thought that I would do them just in case. So just cut this butterfly out. Oh, it's another glorious day with the sun shining. Honestly, I mean, we have been so lucky with the weather. It has been so nice. I mean, actually one day this week was even so hot I couldn't even sit in the garden. You know, I went out there to do my daughter, you know, the homeschooling thing with my daughter, because we've been doing it in the garden. It was so hot that after about half an hour we said, oh, should we go in? Because it was just too hot to be out there. I don't know what the temperature was, but I know that I've said about it before. I mean, obviously my garden's not the biggest. So where it's quite enclosed and, you know, not the biggest, it really gets very, very, very hot in the garden. So it doesn't have to be that hot for it to get incredibly hot, if you see what I mean. So yeah, we were out there for just a short while and then it was like, whoa, should we go back in? It's just boiling out here. Okay. But not that I'm complaining, because that's obviously, you know, preferable to horrible weather, especially during this lockdown. It would just be, you know, very miserable if it was horrible weather, which I know some people are having, unfortunately. I mean, I always find it so interesting, you know, when you hear what other weather types are going on around the world. And I think it was Gail Agostinelli, I'm sure, said it was snow the other day. I'm sure it was her. And Laurie, Girl on a Ridge, I'm sure she said it was snowing the other day as well. Yeah, I'm sure it was those two who've said it was snowing. Which, you know, oh my gosh, how horrible to be... Well, I guess how fine, actually, because, to be honest, who'd want to be going out and about in the snow? But, yeah, I always find it really quite fascinating, you know, the weathers that are going on at the same time. But, yeah, I mean, I guess to be fair, you know, you might as well have snow if you're locked in anyway, because, let's face it, who'd want to be going out in the snow? Right, okay, back to my project and trying to concentrate before I'm waffling on again. But yeah, we have been super lucky. So I think literally this whole lockdown we've had like 1 day's rain so far. We had 2 days where it wasn't that great. One of them was the rainy day, and the day before or the day after, I can't remember which, you know, just wasn't great. But it wasn't terrible, you know. The sun came out like in the afternoon and stuff. It wasn't like sitting out in the garden weather. It was a little bit chillier and overcast, but it was fine. So yeah, we have been extremely lucky, I have to say. I mean, it definitely does help being able to get out, doesn't it? Right. So I was thinking of this white lace, because otherwise I feel like I have this big expanse of the black up there. So I'm going to glue her down first. wipe my excess glue away. Okay, and then just going to have that lace kind of hanging over a little bit, hopefully at the end. I think probably that's the right way up. Not that it especially has a right way and a wrong way, but... Okay. There we go. And then I was thinking, you know, you can never have enough lace, so perhaps have a little bit of black lace down the bottom, maybe on this side actually. So, oops. Again, just glue that down. Just along there. Oops. Okay, cut that down. Okay, just pop that on a bit there. Okay, and then again, let's just have a bit of bling. Oh my gosh, look what I've done. Trying to trim those thread bits off of the bling, and I've actually just chopped right into it. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Right, I'm going to have it there. So... Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's my second piece. Put that out the way. Okay, then the next one. Oh my gosh, I'm getting covered in bits there. So again, let's just tear this down. So have it like overhanging over there a bit. Okie dokie. Okay. Okie dokie. So yeah, my son, my eldest son, he has been very good. He has been painting our house. I'm sure that I've said this in another video, but yeah, he's actually finished now. I mean, our whole house isn't painted, but the top half is. So yeah, he's been really helpful and done that, because that was one of those jobs that, you know, if I'm truthful, it just never really gets done. So he has got on and done that, which is absolutely brilliant. I have to say, he did make me laugh because, you know, he said about it, and he said, you know, about painting it. And I said, and my husband also, you know, oh, well, don't really want you going up on the ladder, you know. And of course, he's the one who's got his apprenticeship, you know, doing electrical. So he said, you know, what do you think that I do at work, you know? I said, well, most of the time you seem to be talking about ground stuff, you know, running cables in the ground, you know. He said, yeah, but I also have to do things up, you know, on ladders and stuff. It's like, oh, do you? So, yeah, he's been obviously going up and down the ladder. And I have to say, you know, I felt fine about it because obviously I was in the house and wasn't really able to see what he was doing. And then he said yesterday, I think it was, he said, oh, you know, come and see what you think. And when, at the point when I went out to have a look, he was actually up the ladder. And of course, you know, my heart went into my mouth, you know, and I thought, oh my gosh, he's right up that ladder. I hope he's all right. I was okay whilst I couldn't really see him because he had assured me, oh, I'm fine, I do it all the time. And then when you actually see it, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I hope he's going to be safe. But yeah, touch wood, he's actually finished now. Unless he sort of comes across bits that he's missed. But fingers crossed, it's all done. But it was just horrible when I actually saw him. I thought, oh my gosh, I hope you're all right up there. But yeah. And then he said, oh, look what I've done. He'd left a cup up on the windowsill where he wasn't, if you see what I mean. So like up the other end, he was up that end painting, up the other end was the cup. So again, he was then moving the ladder, going along there. I said, oh, well, perhaps you could just reach through the window, you know, open the window and gently get it. Oh, no, it's fine. I'll just move the ladder. Oh, I couldn't watch. I just said, oh, okay. And went back in because I thought, oh, I'd rather not be out here seeing what he's doing, to be honest. I think it's better when you don't know. Sometimes, like, ignorance is bliss, isn't it? Because I was fine until I saw him, you know, because I just thought, well, he's reassured me. He's okay. He's, you know, he's safe. He's used to going up and down the ladders. It was only really with my own eyes that I thought, oh my gosh, look at what he's doing. Look at how high he is. Oh. Nobody was at the bottom of the ladder holding it for him or anything, you know. Whereas like on the very rare occasion that my husband's ever done anything like that, obviously he won't go up the ladder unless somebody's holding it for him and, you know. But yeah, my son was much more gung-ho and was just like going up and down, you know, as if it was nothing. So anyway, touch wood, it's all finished now, and yeah, and a good job done. So yeah, that was another one of those jobs that, to be honest, I mean, we never would have painted the house this year had we not been in the lockdown. You know, it probably would have gone another couple of years before we painted it. So because it wasn't really bad or anything. It's just white at the top. But anyway, it does look better, you know, for being painted. And it's obviously, it's a good job done because it's, you know, one of those jobs that we wouldn't have necessarily wanted to do. This is one of those magazine pieces from the vintage magazines. From when I did those videos, it was just a leftover piece that I hadn't used yet. So again, I just thought, well, it's in keeping with the black and white, so I'll just use that. Okay. And then I'm just going to pop him on there, I think, like that. Okie dokie. We're 36 minutes, coming up to 36 minutes. So, yeah. I mean, it's not a race or anything. This, I don't think, you know I said this before as well. It's just create, you know, as much as you want to create or can create in the 60 minutes. You know, the 60 minutes isn't like a timer as such. So, yeah, I'm not kind of too worried if I'm not making a great deal of pieces. It's fine. Sorry, I'm just double checking that I want it this way round. Like might have, oh yeah, that looks really nice. So just again, put this down here. Okay. Trim that off there. And then okie dokie, just have a bit of white going across the bottom. Just livens it up a bit, doesn't it? So again, this is that wicked, gosh, I haven't said that word for years and years. I'm not sure anyone says that word these days. But it's just that really cool crochet lace, which I just love. This isn't that wide one that I have been using a lot lately, but this is another one, which is obviously white, as you can see. But I just love the way that you can tear it about and make it look much more ruggedy. It's really, you know, makes it nice to use. So on that piece, I might have that piece of bling. Oops. Okay. And again, just try and have it, you know, I like to just try and have it a little bit jaggedy so it's not really straight across. So, okay, that's those pieces. So I'm just fidgeting on my chair now. So that's those. What else did I bring along? I bought along an envelope, I thought. Yep, so I've got an envelope here. So let's have a look. Do I want to do that, or shall we do something else? Just having a look. Sorry, this is where it all goes down the hill, obviously. I also did some of my awesome architecture pages in the black and white, because I thought they were pretty nice. Actually, I'm just thinking, I think Crafty Cat, she did like a little pocket, so perhaps we'll emulate her pocket. So this way I can actually use up 2 of these, you know, 6.5 by 4 sheets. By literally, I can just like wrap this round like that. And then at the bottom, just fold it up at the bottom. Okay. Wow, that's not great for the nails, is it? Again, I should really be using my bone folder, I'm sure, but never mind. So I'm just going to then snip my corners, and I like to just go straight across like that. You know, we all just do the things that we find easiest to do, don't we? And that's just the way that I find, you know, is easiest to do it. And I'm just going to trim that bottom bit down a bit. Okay. So we'll have that like that. And just before I glue it, you know, glue it together, just want to see whether I want to cover any of that back. Or do I want to leave the back and have the, do you know, I think I'm going to leave the back. So I will just glue my flaps down around the pocket. that. Okay. So what have I been watching lately? I have now started watching, again, I think it's another Netflix thing. It's called What If? It's with Renée Zellweger. I'm not sure, to be fair, what I actually think of it. It's one that just my husband and I are watching, you know, well, not when the children are in bed, but we're not watching it with the children. We watch it when we go up to our bedroom, you know, before we go to sleep kind of thing for 40 minutes or so. He's not enjoying it at all, to the point where he just kind of turns over and goes to sleep. He's like, oh, this is rubbish, and just turns over. I think I might have just finished either episode 2 or 3. I'm undecided. It's kind of good. I have to say it's very, it feels very like they're plucking things from other things that I've seen before. So there's one part that's very much a bit like Indecent Proposal, which, wow, I love that film. Yeah, so it's very much like that in one or two places. You know, kind of where you just think, not sure. Have they kind of ripped off a couple of other ideas here? But I mean, you know, it's quite good. And I mean, obviously, Renée Zellweger, she's awesome in it. She's playing a very different part to anything I've seen her play before. So that's quite good. And of course, she's always so watchable, isn't she? So, you know, that's really, you know, I'm really enjoying that. Yeah, I'm not sure really what I think yet. I don't know how many episodes there are. Don't know whether it's just one season, but you know, it's something to watch, and it's okay. But it might get really good, who knows. I mean, I suspect it will get quite good. I think I'm feeling negativity because my husband is feeling negativity because, yeah, I mean, he's just like, oh, what? This is rubbish. I'm just going to go to sleep. But then, of course, it makes me think, oh, perhaps it is rubbish, you know, where I would maybe be quite enjoying it if he was a bit more positive. But, I mean, that happens, doesn't it? When you hear lots of kind of negativity, you start questioning it yourself, don't you? And think, oh, well, perhaps it is a bit rubbish. But, yeah, perhaps I would be enjoying it if he wasn't saying that, you know, if he wasn't saying those things. Who knows? Who knows? Right, going to do it like that, I think. Because it's quite good, because then I obviously use up that piece of paper as well. And to be honest, I'm terrible for only half watching something. So to be fair, you know, when he says, oh, it's rubbish, you know, it maybe is a little bit rubbish, but because I'm never really fully watching something, because I'm normally like on my laptop or, you know, doing some other things at the same time, I'm not really watching things fully. So, yeah. Oh, but having said that, in the other breath, it could be that it's absolutely fantastic and I'm just constantly missing the point because I'm not really watching it properly. So, it, yeah, could be either or. Either one of those scenarios. Right, I've got these clock pieces, which I really like. Or perhaps let's just have a look. I mean, I did loads of pages because I couldn't decide what I was going to need. And, you know, I have to say I did look at it when I'd printed it all and thought, who am I kidding? I've got like 60 minutes, you know, not 6 days. But it's fine, because if I don't use it here, I can always use things later in something else. Perhaps I'll have that there. Wanted something a little bit bigger up there, so just go for that. clear a couple of bits. So yeah, I'm still debating on the clock. I don't know whether that will just fade into that background. What I could do with is some more doily, and I bet I haven't got any now. I only seem to have a tiny little bit of the white doily, you know, handy. Oh, I tell you what else I did bring along. It's brought along this black and white ribbon. Oh, I don't know. Let's just have a look. Okay. So I went for a bike ride yesterday. Those are my little outings, is, you know, the daily exercise thing. So yeah, went for a bike ride. You know, not for long, because obviously your only really guidance is to go out, you know, I think like an hour to, sorry, half an hour to an hour. And, you know, an hour's biking's quite a long time anyway. So, well, for me, I think an hour's biking would be, or is quite a long time. So, yeah, tend to only go out for like half an hour-ish anyway, but well, perhaps I'll have that like that. Wish I could find some doily. Why didn't I bring any doily with me? I did bring a bit of other book page, and I also bought some sheet music. Let's just try a bit of sheet music. Oh, I could have it that way, or I could have it that way. Perhaps we'll just do it like that, I think. Okay. Okay, so let's just pop that down. Okay. Yeah, so when we go for the bike ride, you know, it's my husband and I, and we go with my daughter as well. She goes on the tag along thing, you know, with her bike attached via the tag along. So yeah, I did go for a bike ride one of the days with my middle son, but obviously he's getting to that age where he's a bit embarrassed to be seen with me. Well, I say getting to that age, he's at that age where he would rather not be seen really out biking with mum, you know. That's fair enough, isn't it? But that's quite nice there, actually. I know that's not black and white really, so a bit cheating, but she's a little bit small now. Let me see. Because these ones are more grey, because I think I printed some like grayscale, and then there were some that were black and white. So, and actually I don't think she was either. I think she's just printed normally, the other one. So let me just cut this one out, which is the grayscale, just because she's bigger, which I think probably I would prefer her a bit bigger really. Now, do I tear her or do I cut around that oval? Oh, let's just cut around the oval in the first place. Okay. Okay. Do we have her on there like that? So let's just pop this clock down. Okay, just tuck that in a bit, like that. Okay, just press it down there like that. And then this one, just trying to kind of use the lace most efficiently. Just trim around that. Okay. So we'll just have her on there like that, I think. So again, I'm going to glue her down onto that lace in the first instance, and then I'll hot glue like the whole lot on. Now I'm looking, I've got like 7 minutes left, which, am I going to have time to make some sort of little coordinating tag or journal card? I haven't, if I'm truthful, but let's do something sort of super quick so that we have, oh look, that's just great, because that just fits in there perfectly. So let's just move her off to the side for a moment. And let's grab in. Oh, there it is. I was looking for the rest of that paper and I thought, well, that's strange, it's disappeared. Okay. Just have that on there, and then I'll just use a bit of book page, I think. Okay, so we're just doing this double quick time just so that we've got something, you know, to go into that pocket ready. Okay. Oh. Okay. Just glue that one there. That down. And then actually what we could do is we could have this clock come on. Right, 4 minutes. I know. I mean, I said before, didn't I? It's not a race, this one. It's just like, you know, a chill out 60 minutes. So I'm not going to panic. So I think what we'll do, we just have that there, like that. You know what I should have done was used my fine liner glue. I might not have shown you guys that yet. I have done a video, but I think it's not been uploaded yet. So yeah, but it's the most fantastically thin tipped glue that I've ever seen. So I should have probably used it for this. But for some reason I just didn't really think. Right, just going to trim that down because it didn't look all that straight on the side. I'll just round the corners of this. Wow, well I must say I had not intended to use only these you know, from that little paper pad, but wow, didn't they just prove handy, you know, convenient to use. So I think I made everything using those. They were really handy. They came in brilliantly handy. So just go around there so it's got a bit more definition to the edges and things. And then we're going to stick her here. And of course I've just got time now for a little bit of lace, which is awesome. So right, I'm going to glue her down in the first place. Pop her down like that. Okay, and then we're going to just put some lace across here like that. Okay, let's chop that down. Wow, I've got like 1 minute now, 1 minute to go. I mean, I know this is not a race, but honestly, having that timer there, you do just get into the, you know, mode. Right, let's just, and I just like to then rough this up a little bit like that. And I think we just have time to just put a little bit of bling on. So just a tiny bit there. And then we'll just have some on this other piece as well. So, oops, I've just hit 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 hour. So 60 minutes. So I press stop now. Okay, so as usual, I'm just overrunning. This is just like doing my 3 and 30 again, isn't it? Where I was constantly cheating. I seem to be doing that again. I'm going to just have that long piece going across there again. Okie dokie. Right, done. So what did we make? Let's have a look. Let's have a revisit of the pieces that we made. So we did, what did we do? Right, clear the decks. Yeah, I mean, what on earth I brought so much stuff along with me is beyond me, because seriously, oh gosh, look, hot glue trailing along. Yeah, how much stuff did I think I was going to honestly create? So we've got all of these different little pieces. And this one, of course, has the journaling card as well. So not a bad make, really, for that hour. We've managed to do quite a few. So, yeah, I hope you like them. And thank you very much, Amy. Loved working with the black and white. Yeah, so I will try and remember to link her video below, you know, her original, or she might have a playlist, I think. Yeah, so have fun if you are playing along with the challenge as well, and I will catch you guys soon. Thanks then, bye.